So Marvel Rivals has been out for just over a month now, and in that time, there's been a few different issues that have divided fans of the game, none of them being remotely as contested as roll queue. So if you aren't familiar with the concept of roll queue, it basically makes it so that instead of the way the game is now, where you load into the match and then just choose a character and play, you would have to choose which role or class or whatever you want to call it that you want to queue for before you get into the match. So instead of going like quick play, you basically choose quick play Vanguard, and then the game matches you with one other Vanguard, two duelists, and two strategists. This is a feature they added to Overwatch a couple years into its lifespan as a way to quote unquote balance the game, and it did not do that even a little bit. It just changes the game. It doesn't make anything like more fair. Okay, never mind. We'll get to that later. At the time, Overwatch was basically dealing with a super toxic 3 tank, 3 healer meta, if I'm not mistaken, which was just dominating the entire game, and it was impossible to counter. So instead of like actually balancing the game and like they were just like, from now on you have to play 2 characters of each role. Yep, but whatever. Overwatch aside, the requests for roll queue have made their way over to Marvel Rivals, and it's not just like a small minority or anything. I feel like the fan base of Marvel Rivals is pretty split down the middle, damn near 50-50 for whether you think it should be added or not. The primary argument for roll queue that I'm seeing is basically that people want the game to feel more balanced, and they're just upset that they're loading into quick play and insta-locking a DPS and getting 3 other people to also insta-lock DPS. But like, don't get me wrong, I completely empathize with that point, and I know just as well as anyone else how annoying it can be to like get stuck in a lobby with like 4 people playing the same class. But even then, like, sometimes it works out fine. I hate to be that guy, but I do think that subconsciously the primary reason people gravitate towards the concept of roll queue is just kind of like a scapegoat for their skill or like their match performance. Because when you really boil it down, if you're getting, let's say, a bad team composition in like 1 out of 5 games, that means that the opponents you're going up against are also probably going to be a bad composition like 1 in 5 games. So while, yes, it does suck when you have like a 5 DPS, 1 strategist team, 1 out of 10 games, you also need to remember that given that exact same system, that means that you're going up against a 5 DPS, 1 healer team, 1 in 10 games. The game isn't like singling you out and giving you all the like non-meta poor team comps and then giving the opponent team like it's stupid. When you really take a step back and think about it objectively, the changing of like how the queue system works isn't going to like improve your win rate or your performance in like a big large. This is not a perfect analogy, but let's say that open queue or non-roll queue as it is now is basically like a go-kart race. Sure, the track may not be like perfectly laid asphalt, the vehicles may not be like top of the line tuned perfection, but at the end of the day it's you being paired against people of similar skill with equal variables. And then let's compare roll queue to something like a NASCAR or a professional race. Sure, you may have a much better car, the track might be perfect, there's no bumps, you've got plenty of advantages in that NASCAR race over the go-kart race. You're in a better race in the NASCAR race, but you have to also remember that every single other racer in that race has every advantage that you do. So like everybody's starting at the same point in either race. So just because like you're in the better race doesn't mean you're like more likely to win or anything. It's just a different race. The way I look at it basically is I think that the most important thing is to maximize the most amount of fun for the most amount of people, and roll queue is completely the opposite of that. Let's hypothetically say that 50% of people who play this game have the most fun and enjoy the game the most when they're playing in a 2-2-2 composition. Completely fair. And now let's say the other 50% of players of this game have the most fun when they're goofing around, trying crazy stuff, maybe running like 3-3s or 5-1s or 4-2s, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say the other half of players prefer that. With the game as it is, with no roll queue, both halves of the game have full accessibility to have as much fun as they want. Like, if you like 2-2-2, either hope you get that or find 5 other players who also like to play the game that way. If you like 3-3s, hope that your lobbies are that, or find 5 other people who like to play goofy 3-3 comps. Without roll queue, both halves are completely able to have as much fun as they want at all times. So let's say that they do add roll queue. Now, right there on its face, 50% of the games are, which these aren't real numbers, obviously, I'm just talking in hypotheticals here, but let's say this massive chunk of people instantly are not able to have as much fun playing the game as they would have been able to otherwise. So yes, while this group over here that does prefer 2-2-2 in every match is maybe enjoying their experience slightly more on average than they were in the roll queue, the other half of the game isn't having fun anymore. So just like the people over here who like 3-3 aren't advocating for you over here to be mandated to play the game the way that these people want to in 3-3, I don't get why it's such a big thing for these 2-2-2 players to want to mandate for these people to play the way these people want to play. Like, nobody's stopping you from playing how you want to play, bro. Why are you trying to tell other people what to do? Also, another thing that people don't really realize is the team up aspect is like such a core part of this game. I feel like once they keep adding more characters and flushing it out more, I guarantee there's probably going to be some team ups with like maybe 3 of one class or something like that, to where they would be completely limiting themselves and one of the core aspects of their game if they were to lock it to 2-2-2, because let's say they got a plan down the road for the Thing, Hulk, Magneto team. I don't know. Just bear with me. Let's say they've got some cool comic accurate like lore team up that they've been planning for multiple seasons, and now people are like, "Wah, my solo queue teammates aren't playing the way I want to play, so just scrap all that." Like, bruh, come on. I don't know, bro. I just feel like people are treating this more like a spreadsheet to be completed or something, more so than like a game to have fun with. Everyone wants to just like figure out how to min-max the most perfect, like, bro, just stop. So yeah, basically all that yapping to say roll queue, mega cringe. It's bad. If you want to play 2-2-2, there's completely nothing stopping you from doing that every match of the game you play right now. So I don't know why you would want to potentially restrict how other people play the game. Like, especially, okay, if you think that 2-2-2 is the meta, then like making every other player play what you think is like the best top tier meta, that puts you at a disadvantage. If you think that 2-2-2 is the best composition to play 2-2-2 and hope that your opponents aren't. What? Yeah, bro. I don't know. I believe that is all of my bitching and moaning about roll queue, probably. So yeah, bro. If you do disagree with anything I've said, let me know down below. But better be freaking good, bro, because my reasoning is pretty dang rock solid, I'm not going to lie. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be all she wrote for today. But if you'd like to follow along, be sure to like and subscribe. You're a stupid, dumb weenie. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Slop out.
Sticking out your yacht for the Rizzler. You're so skibbity. You're so Phantom Tax. I just wanna be your Sigma.